Good morning, class. We are about to start now. Oh, before we start, let me tell you one or two things. A link has been sent to your email. In that email, click on join class. When you join class, if you are yet to do so, click on join class. When you join class, then you have access to the course material. You have access to recordings. Then you have access to ask question. You drop your question there. When I give answer to the question, all others can see and also learn from it. Then also the timetable and some other it's also a means of interacting between the teacher and the students. So please click on join class so that I can take you to the platform. And today we are on introduction to question document examination. Introduction to question document examination. Let's move on. What is question document examination? Question document examination is a branch of forensic science. Question document examination is a branch of forensic science that deals with documents having a suspicious authenticity. When you are suspecting that a document genuineness is doubtful, when you are suspecting that a source of document is doubtful, then it is that time that you use question document examination, that you conduct question document examination on it. So we say it's a science. Therefore, it uses scientific methods and principles works. This course, question document examination, is also known as forensic document examination. Forensic document examination. And is totally different from graphology. Graphology infers personality of the writer from his handwriting, whereas question document examination deals with a document having a suspicious authenticity. There are two different fields. In legal situation, it is often used that the question document examination is often used in legal disputes, either to identify forgeries or authorship. We have defined what question document examination is. Now, what is a question document? A question document is a document whose reliability or source is in doubt, or its source or reliability is doubtful. So when you have, for example, you have a document that somebody is alleging or challenging its authenticity, then such a document becomes a question document. When you have a document that somebody is alleging that what it has, the content is not complete, or the content has been changed, such a document becomes a question document. When you are in doubt of a source of a document, for example, they said a document is alleged to come out of a particular office, but somebody just come up with an allegation that that document couldn't have emanated from the alleged office for so and so reasons, then such a document becomes a question document. When even the body of a cadaver, for example, we have a mark that is indicating that so and so group kill it, but that mark we couldn't even know. But we want to discover whose mark is this. Then such a body becomes a question document. Let's move forward. Then what is a document? What is a document? A document is any material that contains marks, symbols, or signs intended to communicate a message. We have defined what question document examination is. We have also defined what a question document is. Now, what is a document? In this field, that is, in this question document examination, a document is any material, maybe digital, paper, wall, or just any material that contains marks, symbols, or signs intended to communicate a message. As a question document examiner, there are series of questions that you may need to provide answer to. For example, who created this document? Is the content of this document complete? Is this signature genuine? Is the handwriting of the alleged writer? Is the suicide note found at the crime scene a suicide note indeed? Or is the case a case of a murderer who want to change a murder case to a suicide case? So all these are some of the questions that you are expected to find answers to as a question document examiner. And I will just mention some of the cases where question document examination is applied. Number one, in identity theft case, it can be applied. We have cases of people that will go to the internet, grab somebody's image from his account, for example, on Facebook, grab another person's using software to grab somebody's image, maybe the picture, then use the same picture to create another profile with the name of the original owner. And he may be using this to fraud people or to perpetrate some crime. Another case is forgery. At times, forgery involves that a genuine document, that part of the genuine document is removed, or something is inserted into it, or totally that the whole thing is forged on a name or on the name of an entity, maybe an office or a personality. So the knowledge of question document examination, otherwise known as forensic document examination, can be used to investigate such kind of a case. Another case is that of counterfeiting. Counterfeiting is when a product that is genuine has been in existence and another product that is copying or imitating it is now existing side by side with it in order to claim that it's the same original, it's still the same original product. So the knowledge of question document examination can be used to solve such kind of. Another is suicide case. In a case where everybody believed to be a suicide case, the knowledge of question document examination, if rightly applied, may afterward discover that what is predated as suicide case is nothing but a murder case. For example, a murderer might have killed a particular person. After killing, he may hide, then later write a note that because of so and so reason I want to take my life, and put that note there. If an investigator is not careful, you will think that such kind of a note is a genuine suicide note, until after investigation, maybe as a result of the fact that a member of the family alleged that no, this man couldn't have killed himself because we know the kind of person he is. So after examination, we can discover that we can confirm or refute the claim that the man commit suicide, or probably somebody killed him. Another case that we can apply the knowledge of question document examination is that of fraud. Virtually, there's no fraud that will be committed without a document, whether digital document or paper document, digital document, or electronic document. Mind you, electronics and digital documents sound the same, but they are not the same. So either of these, the knowledge of question document examination can be used to investigate and to unravel the fraud. Then in kidnapping, there are historic cases of where a kidnapper will write a ransom note, and the ransom note that he wrote, as in the case of Lindbergh, the suicide note can be used to get the kidnapper. There was a case in US several years back. The case is the case of a man called Lindbergh Schatz. This man has a daughter. Her old daughter was found missing in a day, and there was a ransom note. He took away the money. After collected his ransom, he collected the money and went away. And they still found the little Lindbergh. They found her dead body somewhere. So he killed this little daughter of Charles Lindbergh, at the same time carted away the ransom money. Now, after several years, like 2 years, one of the notes, because of the fact that those notes had been, the numbers on them has been written down somewhere, and those numbers were given to banks around, and later something led to something, and just a 10 notes was used to purchase something somewhere, to purchase fuel somewhere, and the attendants wrote down the number of the car, and give it to the law enforcement agent, where the man was traced. After tracing him, they got him. They searched for his house. They saw some documents, some things like the planks that resemble the ladder that the kidnapper used to climb to the second story where the kidnapper the baby Lindberghs. And also all the notes, all the money that was given to him, they saw the note in his house, and more importantly, the ransom note that he used the other day, and some other notes is handwritten in the house. They saw them, they compared them, and they saw that those two notes were written by the same person, and that was the final thing they used as and evidence to arrest this man. Let's move forward. In a contested wills, you have a will where a member of the family will say, no, our father couldn't have written such kind of a note, of a will. Or perhaps somebody is saying, among them is saying, something has been missing from the will. So such a will becomes a contested will, or a disputed will, or a questioned document. Is now a question. The question document, the knowledge of the question document examination will be used to investigate. Then, in the case of medical malpractices, it can be used where somebody from an office will go and get a forged document to claim some benefit in the office. It can be used. A forgery is usually associated with white-collar crimes. That is forging of seals, handwritten, signatures, picture or image of something, and so on and so forth. In the 3rd century, Rome was famous for forgers who specializes in forging all kind of documents. A lot of forgers that specializes on nothing but to forge any kind of document. As you have it in Nigeria, here you have a place called Oluwole, where any document can be forged. Any document can be forged, whether certificate, whether will, anything can be forged there. So then in Rome, these forgers are becoming so notorious, and the government wanted to do something to curb it, and that is how the government just came out with what we known as Justinian Code. A Justinian Code. This Justinian Code, around 539 AD, was just a set of guidelines that must be followed while examining a document, just to prove whether it is genuine or not genuine. So a set of guidelines, this set of guidelines is known as a Justinian Code, and it was established by an emperor called Justinian. So it is what the question document examiner of the then always follow in order to say this is genuine or that is not genuine, and that is what made them to become an expert witness in the court. So during that time, the experts were considered as master writers in France. Every country started to follow that kind of procedure in order to detect forgeries and other document-related crimes. Also, in 1890s, when photographic equipment were invented, the photographers they began to consider themselves as experts in that field. Do you know the reason? Because they have opportunity of enlarging, they snap picture, enlarge it. They have in their lab, there's a way they snap a document, then they enlarge it. The enlargement may help them to see clearly, to see what an ordinary eyes couldn't see. Therefore, they will consider themselves as experts in the field then. Even in the famous case of Alphonse Bertillon, you can discover that Alphonse Bertillon himself was a photographer. Alphonse Bertillon was the one who invented anthropometry. Anthropometry, that's a science that measure part of the body to identify a person to use. For example, some part of your body will be measured, like the length from tip of this place to the tip of this place, like this, will be measured. Your height, the size of your head, and some other part of the body, your foot, your so they measure this thing and keep in a place. So that one, because it is believed that there are some part of the body that will be almost the same in a man. But later, it was used for a period of time. But later, there are a lot of advancement that help us to be able to come up with better ways of. There are a lot of historical cases where question document examination was used to unravel some cases, to solve some cases. One of those cases is that of Adolf Hitler's diaries. Adolf Hitler's diaries. In April 1983, a German magazine paid a whopping sum of $2.3 million for 62 volumes of the newly discovered diaries of German dictator Adolf Hitler. The paper, the binding, the glue, and the thread of these books were all found to be of post-war manufacture. Post-war manufacture. This plus the sum of money wasted, about 4 million in total, made the Hitler diary the most expensive fraud in publishing history. What happened? A man came and presented a set of documents to a journalist working for Stern magazine. So, this document was presented, and the man said that he found this document that belonged to Hitler. And around that time, this is a time where everybody want to hear something. They want to know more about Hitler. They want to know about his exploration and his personal life. They just want to know about him. So, after delivering this document to this magazine company that known as a Stern magazine, there was a kind of calls. There was calls all over that the document should be subjected to forensic investigation, whether they are genuine or not. And behold, they were given to some forensic investigator, and those people confirmed that these documents were genuine because of the fact that they made mistake. What they use fake, or they use not genuine. They use not genuine, the one that was forged by the same forger. They use it as original to compare to that of the one that was in dispute. So forge was used to compare forge, and that's why they made the mistake. But later, some set of question document examiner also work on this thing, and they discovered that everything was about this document, about the diary, was total fake. That everything was not genuine. They were confirmed as forgery. How do they do it? They tested the ink that was used to produce this document. They discovered that the ink had not been in existence before the war. Had not been in existence before the war. And the paper used was never in existence before the war. So everything that they used to produce this paper, this document, were post-war materials. They were manufactured after the war. And this Adolf died during the war. So how is it possible for him to use something that had not been existent to create a document? Before I stop, I want to also say one or two things about that kind of document that we work upon our lab here. Sometimes ago, from the eastern Nigeria, somebody or a group of people in a community, they sent a document to us to work upon. The document was purported to have been created in 1965. Sorry, in 1963. And after we work on the document, we discovered that what was used to produce it was not in existence until 1965. This is how we discover it. We look at the font they used to produce this thing, and we went to the archive of the manufacturer, and we discovered that the font was produced alongside a particular typewriter. That time computer was not in existence in Nigeria. So I'm talking about computer to use for documents like this, for documentation or to type anything, has not been existent. So it's only typewriter. And the typewriter, when we look at the font and went to the archive, we discovered that that typewriter was not produced until 1965, and this document was carrying 1963. The document that was produced in 1963, the typewriter that they used to create it was produced in 1965. So that is not possible. So there are cases and many cases, but because of our time, we are going to stop here. In the next class, we are going to start another topic. Is going to be equipment and methods used in question document examination. Perhaps there are still some people that are watching this class and still want to join us. It's not yet late for you, because this is just the introduction. This is just foundation. We are just laying foundation. So in the next class, we start real work. We go deep into the work, and the next class is going to be done inside a lab.